Hello, everybody. In chapter 15, we will explain the sexual cycle, especially the female sexual cycle and the stages of this cycle. At puberty, the female's body undergoes certain modifications. These modifications takes place at the level of the reproductive organs, where the reproductive organs start to function in a cyclic manner, menses, production of gametes, modification in the endometrium, etc. Moreover, secondary sexual characteristics start to appear in the male and in the female. First of all, I will show you a video about the 3D structure of the female reproductive system and how it is organized. The female reproductive system is made up of five structures. Uh, Two ovaries, one from the left and another from the right. The ovary is the site of the production of female gametes, where the production of mature oocyte takes place. Also, the ovaries produce the female sexual hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Beside the ovary, there are two oviducts or fallopian tubes. These oviducts are the reception site of the oocyte released from the ovary after ovulation. Also, are the oviducts are the site of fertilization where male and female gametes meet together. The oviducts open into the uterus. This is the uterus. The uterus is the site of implantation of the fertilized egg. After fertilization and after the union between spermatozoa and oocyte 2, there is a formation of fertilized egg or zygote. The zygote passes to the uterus and it is implanted in the endometrium of the uterus. Also, the uterus is the site of the development of embryo into a fetus, then into a newborn. The structure 4 is the cervix. The cervix is the constricted region between the uterus and the vagina. Finally, the vagina is the organ of copulation. The ovaries are the site of production of oocytes and female sexual hormones. The oviducts are the site of reception of released oocytes and the site of fertilization. The uterus is the site of implantation and development of the embryo. Vagina is the organ of copulation. This is the organization of the female reproductive system. A is the ovary, B is the fallopian tube or oviduct, C is the uterus, D uterine cavity where the development of the embryo takes place, E the cervix, F the vagina. خلينا نشوف the role of each organ in the female reproductive system. First of all, the role of the ovaries. There are two ovaries, one from the left and one from the right. The ovary مثل ما قلنا قبل is the site of maturation of oocyte 2 and the development of follicles. بقلب الأوفري في عنا two processes that take place. Oogenesis اللي هي cycle of the oocyte inside كانت oocyte 1 صارت oocyte 2 رجعت عملت ovulation وطلعت لبرا. هيدي السايكل of the oocyte اسمها oogenesis and folliculogenesis اللي هي growth and development of follicles inside the ovary from primordial to primary to secondary to cavitary and then to mature بترجع بتصير corpus luteum corpus albicans طبعا إذا ما في fertilization. This is a transversal section of the ovary. The ovary are the site of folliculogenesis and oogenesis. They are responsible for the production and release of oocyte 2 blocked at metaphase 2. الأوسايت هي بتكون لما تخلق الفيميل بيكون عندها oocyte 1 blocked at prophase 1 ولما تعمل ovulation بتكون الأوسايت blocked oocyte 2 blocked at metaphase 2. Also, the ovaries secrete the female sexual hormones estrogen and progesterone. The role of the fallopian tube, they are the site of reception of oocyte 2. الأوسايت 2 اللي طلعت صار في ovulation طلعت الأوسايت 2. This is the site of fertilization if the female and male gametes meet at this place. They are the site of fertilization, the role of the uterus. The uterus is the site of implantation and development of the embryo. هان صار implantation علق الامبريو على بالاندومتريوم of the uterus. uterus في عنده 3 طبقات. endometrium هي الطبقة الجوانية، طبقة الماسكولار layer اللي فوقها هي myometrium، وآخر شي عنا serous layer. So the implantation and development of embryo takes place in the uterus. And finally, the role of the vagina. The vagina is the organ of copulation. It is the site of the reception of spermatozoa or male gametes. The structure of the uterus. This is the body of the uterus. The bottom of the uterus is the cervix. And it is the connection between the uterus and the vagina. The uterus is a funnel-shaped muscular organ whose upper and wide part constitute the body of the uterus and the lower and narrow part constitute the cervix. الرحم هو اليوترس، عنق الرحم اللي هو cervix. The uterus is connected to the fallopian tube and the ovaries. The uterus is connected in its upper part to the fallopian tube, then to the ovaries, and by its lower part it is connected to the vagina. The structure of the uterus. The uterus is made up of 3 layers. The inner layer, which is the endometrium, it is the mucosal layer of the uterus، عبارة عن mucus بصير في هونيك implantation of the embryo. The middle layer اللي هي muscular layer plays an important role during labor and during delivery by the contraction and relaxation. And the external layer, which is the serous layer.